Hello, we are going to go through the expectations for language arts today. So today will be October 12th, and for language arts, this is what we're going to be doing. We're going to kick off with a read aloud that I will do for you. So I'm going to read the first chapter of our new story. After that, you are going to be expected to read that story to someone. So it can be another teacher, it can be another student, it can be to a parent. If you're at home, read it aloud to someone. There are several different versions of the story, so choose the one that fits you the best. If there's one that is just a little bit too challenging, choose one of the easier ones. Make sure that you are feeling confident in your reading. After that, there are some books that are assigned already on Unique if you're using it online. I've assigned some choices for you. So you're going to select one of those books to either read to somebody or read independently if you are at home or you're not connected to the internet. You can choose a book to read to someone. Following that, we are going to do a little journal entry together. I have a couple different templates for you, and just to kind of get your mind thinking in the right direction and making sure we're using those complete sentences while we are journaling. So let's get started. Our story this month is called Sports in Motion. So you'll notice that in this picture, we see a wheelchair with arrows, so showing that it's in motion when we're pushing a wheelchair forward, kicking a ball, using force, a volleyball going up, a basketball going up. Remember, we talked about some things like push and pull and force and gravity. So those vocabulary words will all come into play during our story. Sorry, let me go back for a second. This is showing us the table of contents for our story. We will start with chapter 1 called The Motion of Sports. So up here you'll notice it says the table of contents. Some chapter books have this, and it'll tell you which page each chapter begins on. Maybe if the chapter has a specific name, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Some of them are just called chapter numbers, but ours tells us exactly what the chapters' names are and where they are in our story. So we're going to kick off with chapter 1, which starts on page 1. Makes a lot of sense. Here we go. Chapter 1, The Motion of Sports. JR, Mark, and Sydney and John are excited. It's time for gym class. In gym class, the students get to move around and play different games. They can't wait to see what Mrs. Perez has planned for today. So what are they excited about doing? All right, they are excited about gym class. I know a lot of you are excited about gym class when that time comes around. Hi class, Mrs. Perez says. I set up different sports stations. Today we are going to try many different sports. We are going to learn about motion in sports. Motion is the way things move from one place to another. The more we know about motion in sports, the better we will be when we play them. What are the students going to learn about? What's the word? Motion. So motion and movement, right? So they're learning about the way things move from one place to another. So the way things move, that's called motion. Mrs. Perez slowly rolls a baseball on the floor. A ball can move slow. A ball can move fast. This is the speed of the ball. Speed is how fast or how slow or fast an object can move, she says. So see this picture right here will be the slow version, right? Do you see a snail? Snails move very slowly. And then here you see a person running very fast. So this would be our picture to describe a fast object moving, or the fast ball. So what is speed? Right, so this picture helps us, doesn't it? The speed is how fast or how slow something can move. Mrs. Perez tosses a baseball up in the air. A ball can go up high, and a ball can fall down low. This is the height of a ball. Height is how high or low something goes, she says. So what is height? How high it goes and how low. Nice. So see this picture? Let's see if I can zoom in a little farther. Makes it a little bit blurry, but so this picture right here is showing us that it's up high. You see where this line is? And this baseball is going up. Our arrow shows us that it's going up. When it comes down, what is it using? Gravity. We talked about gravity. So going back down, and it's going down low. See this person crouching down and showing this green line showing low. Mrs. Perez throws the ball fast to the other end of the gym. A ball can go far and a ball can stay close. This is the distance the ball moves. Distance is how far away or close something is, she says. So this picture helps us with far. Notice these boxes are far apart and these boxes are close together. So what is distance? So these pictures help us again, don't they? So the distance is how far away something is or how close. Also notice in this picture, this baseball that's far away looks a lot smaller and the baseball that is up close looks a lot larger. So that's how you can tell in a picture if something is far away or close up. Mrs. Perez tells the class that they will use different types of motion to play different sports today. They will think about the different kinds of motion they use in each sport. They will think about how that motion can change. Can changing how they move in a sport make them better at a sport? So what will the students play today? Yeah, they're playing sports. So let's look at these. What are these sports? This one is volleyball. Yes, we need this racket and this ball to play the sport. Tennis and football, basketball. We have a golf club and a golf ball for golfing, and a soccer ball. Okay, these pictures help us with this story that we just talked about, talking about moving, playing, rolling, tossing, and throwing. These are all the verbs that we talked about, actions, right? And then these are some describing words: slow and fast, high and low, far and close. These are some nouns in our story and other important things. So Mark and Sydney, and John and Mrs. Perez. So these are some people in our story. We were talking about gym class. They're playing a game, talking about sports, talking about motion, baseball, speed, height, and distance. So these are all things. After all those pages, we discussed all of these things in just those few pages. So the next portion of this is to go into your unique and go into your lesson to read this story to someone. I believe it's lesson 3, activity 2. And then you can choose, remember there are 3 different versions of the story, so choose the one that you feel most comfortable with to read that story to someone. When you are finished with that, you can start the video again so you'll know what's happening next. Hey guys, I'm glad that you finished up your story. I am going to switch up the order just a little bit. I know that we said for number 3 we were going to do a self-selected reading. I'm going to go ahead and do the journal entry right now, and then you'll be able to finish up your language arts time today with a book of your choice. So I'm going to click on this and then I'll show you what it will look like. There are a couple different versions of this journal. So yours may look like this, and it says journal number 2, things can move fast and slow. Yours may look like this. Same thing, journal number 2, things can move fast and slow. Or yours may look like this. Journal number 2, things can move fast and slow. So notice each version has the same information on it, right? So we're still talking about things moving fast and moving slow. But some of them use some pictures and some of them use some words, and some of them one version, you have to kind of come up with some of those sentences on your own. So we're going to work backwards just to kind of give you a little bit more information before you're writing on your own. So things can move fast and slow. So what can move fast? Let's look at our choices. A car, a train, a cheetah, a bird, a roller coaster, or a soccer ball. So you can choose which one you would like. I would say that a cheetah can move fast. So a car can also move fast, right? A train can move fast, a roller coaster can move fast, a cheetah can move fast, a soccer ball can move fast, and a bird can also fly very fast. So you can choose which one you prefer. So I'm going to choose a cheetah.
Cheetah.
A what can move slow? So we're finding something that can move slow. What could move slow? I'm going to choose a turtle.
Turtle.
And then, so it says, now your journal entry says a turtle can move slow. I like to move, then you can choose. I like to move fast.
Fast.
Excellent. When you're finished, click on the globe and click home. Let's see what our other choices are for the other ones. Things can move fast and slow. A what can move fast? So this one we don't have any pictures. So if yours looks like this, remember you can use these tools at the bottom to read aloud to you. So a car, a train, a cheetah, a bird, roller coaster, or soccer ball. Same choices. This time there just aren't any pictures. So it's a little bit more challenging because you can handle it. So this time I'm going to choose a roller coaster.
Roller coaster.
Remember, there is not a right.
A. Can move fast.
Not a right or wrong answer. These are your journal entries. So remember, you're using what you want to do. Don't be copying somebody else's. You can choose what you want to do because I want to hear your opinions. A what can move slow. I'm going to choose a snail this time.
Snail.
And I like to move. My answer isn't going to change this time. I like to move fast.
Fast.
Okay. So now let's look. If your journal looks like this, and it says things can move fast and slow, we're going to use some of the ideas from the previous pages to write some answers on here. So things can move fast. So let's start with something that can move fast. So we can say what could move fast? Train can move fast. And now let's think of something that can move slow. What could we choose this time? I think that one of the choices was hot air balloon, but let's choose something else. What can move slow? A turtle could move slow. Maybe somebody in your family is kind of slow. Maybe an animal that you can think of that's quite slow. I'm going to choose a sloth. Can move slow. I like to move fast. So I only wrote one sentence for each one. Move fast, slow, and I like to move fast. You can fill this whole thing up. You can list a train can move fast, and a car can move fast, and a boat can move fast, right? Something that can move slow. A canoe can move slow. My son can move slow when he doesn't want to get ready in the morning. Lots and lots of different ideas. So feel free to write more, and we will be expanding our journals as we go. But I want you to do your best. And if this is where you're at right now, keep it this way and turn your work in, and we will always be able to improve on what you're doing. So make sure when you're finished, click the globe and click home so that I can see that you finished your work. Last thing for today is to find a story to read. Again, if you're on Unique, and there are some choices on there that I've assigned to you, please choose one of those stories. If you are at home or aren't accessing Unique, then you can choose a story to read. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for working hard.